that marks are not awarded for things the question has not asked the candidates to do. So the candidate must go straight and answer the questions. For example, the question is asking the candidates to narrate the story of creation according to Islam or according to Christianity. It has not asked for definition. So where the candidates defines creation, the candidates will not earn any mark for the definition. But I added that when the candidate is asked to give a particular number of statements, the candidate can exceed the number of statements. And there are advantages in that. You see, not that you'll be given an extra mark, but if the stipulated number gives you the correct answers, the rest will be tagged as rubrics, but you still have the full marks. In case there is any wrong answer among the stipulated one, your extra statements will be visited, and if it is correct, it will be marked, and that mark will be given to you. So with that, there are advantages in there. Now I also said marks are not deducted for wrong spelling. But what is dangerous is if the candidate spells a different word, say God, instead of G-O-D, the candidate spells God as G-O-R-D. That word means a calabash. So even though the candidate is narrating how God created the word, he is doing it right, still the candidate will be scored 0. Why? The candidate is saying, on the first day, calabash created heaven and earth, darkness and light, and day and night. That is, the candidate wants to spell God G-O-D, and has spelled it G-O-R-D, which is a different word. But if the candidate has spelled it G-O-D-D, the candidate will be marked right because there's no word G-O-D-D. So that one will be termed as wrong spelling. The candidate will be scored without deducting any mark from the candidate. So marks are not deducted for wrong spelling, but where a candidate spells a different word, the meaning of the statement will change. Contextual meaning will change. Because to say God and you are now using calabash will be wrong, and the candidate will be given 0 for those statements. Those 7 statements which seems to be correct because of the word G-O-R-D in all the statements, the candidate will end up scoring 0. So please let us teach our candidates these things. As usual, marks are also not given for good handwriting. They only have to write for those marking to see and mark for them. But they shouldn't think that they are going to be given an extra mark for good handwriting. These are the things I want you to take note and add to all that we have done. Most especially the approach, how they identify what the question is being talked about. Yes, it is important they identify the verb used in the question and then also know exactly the substrand being talked about. With this, they will be able to answer the questions and score the marks that we expect them to score. All right.